Hey everyone, welcome to the revamp and the first episode of Just Rambling the podcast. My name is Rebere Sparks. I'm here with my brother Brandon Gates. I'm going to introduce him and then we're going to go from there. So, Brandon is an amazing man. I chose Brandon for this particular podcast for my own reasons, which you're going to find out as we go through the podcast. But he's a realtor. He's an amazing father. He's an amazing brother. He's an amazing partner, right? And he also is the founder of the Pull Up Experience podcast, which I have had the opportunity to be invited on that podcast multiple times. This is a man that's resilient. I call him my brother. I'm thankful for him, and it's funny because even though this isn't the first chapter, it's amazing that he's the first podcast. So interesting enough, what we're gonna be doing this year or this season for Just Rambling the podcast, I decided to bring on uh, uh, 13 men, okay, individuals, okay, and it's gonna dedicate it to my book, Dadding During Disaster, which was just released.
Phenomenal book, man.
Appreciate that, bro. And in that, we're gonna have a good time and going over that book. So with that being said, you ready?
You ready, bro?
I'm ready, bro.
Come on, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
Make sure I just Man, first of all, let me say it's an honor, bro. Really, it is, man. It's an honor to sit here and interview you, bro. And an honor to interview my brother, man.
Yeah.
Phenomenal book, phenomenal work, man. And I'm glad to be sitting here, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about dadding during disaster.
Yeah.
Phenomenal work, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
No, come on, man. You did the work, man. You did the work.
Yeah.
And not only did you do the work, your work is, I feel like a work of art that's gonna help so many men, man.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into it, man. What inspired you to write the book, man?
So what inspired me to write this book, I've been working on this book for roughly 8 years. So it started off as like a journal. So I was just journaling some of my experiences that I went through as I went through divorce, while having my 3 children, and then most recently, I would say with this past year, Mike Copeland, who actually
Love Mike, man.
Yeah, Mike, solid dude, man. Shout out to Mike. So Copeland Consultants, he actually published my book. So we were in conversation one day, and I'm like, yeah, man, I think I want to write a book. And he's like, oh yeah, well, like, what made you want to write this book? And I'm like, well, like, you know my story, right? I'm telling my story. He's like, yeah. He was like, have you wrote anything at all? I'm like, funny enough, I had all of it in like this this notebook that I was like journaling, and I ended up putting it in a Google Doc. And he was like, oh, do you have the Google Doc? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, send it to me. So I'm like, cool. So I sent it to him.
Yeah.
And he called me back. He's like, bro, this is a book, bro. Like, you got a book.
Yeah.
So he's like, you're writing this book. He's like, this is an amazing book. Like, we're going to do this. And I'm like, what I need to do? And he's like, well, you may add more, take some away, but this is for sure a book. So as I was going through that time, that's where a lot of my material and content came from. But it was this year. It's been, let's say, 8 years since I've been divorced. And if you know anything about numbers, like 8 is representation in the Bible of new beginnings.
Come on, man. I ain't got a buzzer with me.
Yeah, you got his buzzer. You ain't told me to his buzzer on the Pull Up Experience.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, man, you know what? I hesitated so long. I'm like, man, I'm going to just go ahead and do it, man.
Come on, man.
I'm going to go ahead and do it. I had so many experiences, so many private conversations, talking to men through like very tough times.
Yeah.
I prayed about it, and I'm like, man, God, like, should I be putting this out? And every little thing that came across me was like, put the book out.
Come on now.
Like, just go ahead and put it out. So prior to this, talked a lot about like stepping out on faith. I think this is probably really like my first time, honestly, that like I say, I feel as if I'm stepping out on faith and like walking into purpose.
Come on now.
I didn't want my experience to be like null and void. And I'm a person that I love to help people. And given the circumstance, I'm like, dang, this is kind of like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is definitely going to help people.
Bro, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
You are going to help people. And I know one of the reasons we're here tonight because I had a chance to read an excerpt out of the book, man.
Mm-hmm.
And let's can you read a little bit of it, man?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, chapter 2, and the title of the chapter is "Therapy is Dope," which it is, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, man, how you talk from perspective of a lot of people talk from perspective of kind of like I want to do it, I look outside the window, but you actually done the work. You have actually been to therapy and back, man.
Mm-hmm.
So one, I want to tell you, make sure you get the book and make sure you get to the chapter because we as black men, the stigma is, we don't do that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But you did the work though, man.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you about a couple of things I got from the chapter, you know what I'm saying, while we're here.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that you mentioned during the chapter, you said your father was a Marine.
Right.
And your parents carried their own trauma. How did that shape the version of your manhood that you grew up seeing?
Yeah, so like that's a great question. So my dad, he was in the Marine Corps. And he always been a legit dude, right?
Yeah.
And then my mom was, she's always been, you know what I'm gonna say right now? I'm transparent.
Come on, man,
I'm gonna just do it. Yeah. So my mom's always been kind of like hard. She's kind of always been like calloused. And I would say in some ways my dad is too, for sure.
Yeah.
And so my dad, he did the best he could, right? So he would be here, then he wouldn't be, and and through life experiences, I kind of understood that, and I think when I made the comment that he did the best he could, like he had another family, right? He had another family, right? So, and I'm the youngest of 7 siblings.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? And the cool thing about it is we all have different moms, different dads, right? But we share the same blood in some way, shape, or form. Whether it was the blood of my mother, whether it's the blood of my father, right? And I would say like my dad, even though he wasn't, and I don't say this to be a dig, even though he wasn't like consistently there, he did leave his
presence was there.
For sure, yeah, he left an impression, right? So whenever dad will be there, the house gonna be clean. You understand what I'm saying? My dad, being a Marine, I will literally watch this dude sweep the living room floor. It was a hardwood floor, and it'd be pristine.
Yeah.
And he would smoke a cigar, and he would literally drop his ashes on the floor to keep sweeping. Right. It was almost like cleaning was in his just who he was. Right. So I would say one thing I learned from my dad is always make sure that I keep a clean environment.
Yeah.
You understand? And that helps me for a lot of reasons, right? Like your environment kind of like shows like where you are.
Yeah.
And funny enough, as I was going through divorce, I'm like, I gotta like have a clean space, right? And that was something that I learned from my dad, right? Because everything else was chaotic, so that's one of the things I can control.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, every kid grows up hating to do the dishes, but I love cleaning the kitchen. I love cleaning the dishes, and that's just right. But my dad, he left that impression of keep a clean environment, right?
Yeah.
But he also was, he was hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I should say no Diddy. I don't know if I should say
no, you good. And you know what? So while I'm talking to you though, man, it's funny because you were the opposite of that though, bro. Like you were the most lighthearted person I know.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I wonder, and we're hearing that about your dad, like you feel like that shaped you into who you are today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say like my dad was like he was like militant.
Yeah.
You know, it was very militant. He had a sense of humor, and I kind of saw that my dad's sense of humor kind of went away when my grandmother passed, his mom. But he was cool, but he also was like, how can I say this? He was like, he was just really like, he didn't really know too much like how to support, you know?
Yeah.
And I think a big part of it is because he had to figure everything out by himself.
Yeah.
Like learn about my dad. My dad had to play the role of dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he had a lot of siblings. So I think what my dad did was, when I say like he did the best he could, he had to grow up to be an adult at a very young age.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's funny because my aunts and uncles always say like, yeah, your dad was like, He like our dad. Like he big brother,
Yeah.
but he's like our dad. Like he went to the Marine Corps when he was 18, you know, and he always just played the role of like this manly, I gotta provide,
Yeah.
you know. There was not a lot of emotion with him or even talks about how to handle emotion. You know, that was a lot of stuff I had to learn through life. You know, I do remember one time my dad communicated to me about emotion. My brother and my brother Mondo, we're like the closest. We had gotten into a fight, and we would fight a lot. So one day I like blew up. My dad was like, if you don't get your attitude together, you're going to end up in a place you don't really want to be, right? And oddly enough, my brother's always been like the cocky, strong dude. And looking back at it now, I remember my brother looked at my dad. I was like, pumped. I'm mad, like, yeah, like I'm going off, right? And he looked at my dad like, can I do something to him? And my dad like, yeah. Right? So my brother like put these gloves on and went to me, right?
Yeah.
And we was going at it. But he got over on me.
Yeah.
Right? But that was kind of like how my dad knew to handle things.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool. You know, like he taught us a lot of things at a young age, whether it's boxing, whether it's knife fighting. It's funny hearing my aunts and uncles talk about my dad. Like your dad would be in the field doing karate. And everybody knew not to mess with your, you know, your dad. You know, somebody did something to us. You know, I said my dad grew up in what they call Garden Valley Heights, right?
Yeah.
And but they knew not to mess with my dad, right?
Yeah.
But I think I'll say he did the best he could because his dad wasn't around.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that the things that he displayed is what he probably wished his dad had done.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he's a man, right? So he had his situations, right? So he had family here, he had family there, right? And as I got older, I understood that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't judge him.
Yeah.
Like I sought to understand. Does that answer the question?
No, you did a great job, man. Because
Cool.
I think we as men, the great thing we had to do, I feel like I had to do the same thing with my dad. I had to go back. Me and my dad married to come out to lunch. And I sat down. I had to get a chance to look through things from his perspective and not my own. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. Like you said, he tried to do the best he could with what he had. You know what I'm saying? And I think we as sons have to be able to do that for fathers too. And we ask that our children do the same thing for us, man. So I love that, man.
Yeah. You know, really quick, I'm sorry for going next door. I want to share something from what you just said. I remember once I went through a divorce and I went through like all these like crazy experiences.
Yeah.
I remember I was trying to reach out to my dad, right? And my mom reached out to him too, like, yeah, you need to go talk to your son, like pull up to his house. And I felt like my dad thought that I was going to, or that I was judging him, that I had like something towards him, because he didn't come. Like when I got married, he wasn't there. When I got kids, he wasn't there. So in my mind, I'm like, now that I'm older, I'm understanding. He probably thinking that I'm like probably judging him, right? Or like I don't rock with him.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, that's not what's going on. I understand. You got something going on, the reason why you ain't here. So I hit him up one day like, hey, Dad, actually my sister FaceTimed him at my house. And I said, what's going on with you? He's like, I'm good. I said, you still drink Jack Daniels? And he was like, yeah, I still drink Jack Daniels. I'm like, yeah. He like, yeah. I'm like, you still smoke cigars? He's like, yeah. I say, why don't you meet me at this cigar lounge, right? And we can have some Jack and have a cigar and we talk. So we meet there, and that conversation, I'm gonna keep a little bit, you know, right, to myself, but it was a great conversation because we had conversation as men.
Yeah.
And I'll say we talked at that cigar lounge for 3 hours. He got in his car, I got in my car, we were on the phone. I got home, he got home, we fell asleep on the phone. You understand that? And but I'll never forget that because it was like, oh, okay, I'm having like a man experience with my dad. Right. So that's all I want to say.
No. I love it, man, because I think we as men, I feel like every man at one point in life has had a conversation with their dad. You know what I'm saying? A real conversation where any regret or, you know what I'm saying, or negative emotion kind of get lifted because you had a real conversation. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to you, brother. So I got another question for you, man.
Okay.
Was there a moment in therapy where you realized I've been carrying things longer than I thought?
Yeah, it was. Yep. So, I didn't realize that some of my experiences with my parents and my upbringing and what I saw, it was affecting how I was showing up as a dad and as a husband, right? And I had dealt with some pains in my younger years that I thought that I was over them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, like I'm not dealing with that any longer. Like, and it was from my extended family,
Mm-hmm.
right? I would say that I was never really like the accepted kid,
Mm.
right? And so I remember having a conversation with my actually at the point in time this was with my pastor before I got into therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being in the office and I was asked a question, and oddly enough, I went back to that time when I was
Mm.
a kid,
Wow.
right? And I ended up just blurting it out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when I was a kid, like I remember not feeling like I was accepted and all this,
Mm.
right? By my family. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, dang, like
Mm.
that's crazy. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I didn't know I carried that, right?
Right.
And so,
And it's funny that the things we carry have a way of coming out. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
In all the wrong ways too.
Yep.
Mm.
That's exactly what happened. And then I remember when I first got into therapy, I got into therapy with an older white lady.
Mm.
And she actually was provided to me by my job,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I was going through the divorce process, I'll never forget my manager at the time. She was amazing, I would say, right? I
Mm-hmm.
worked for this company and I was in a corporate setting,
Yeah.
and I was the only person that didn't know I wasn't okay,
Mm.
right? And everybody around me,
Everybody else knew.
they're
Yeah.
like, "You're not okay."
Yeah.
Right? And I remember sitting in her office. She was like, "Yeah, what's going on? I just want to talk to you." I'm like, "What's going on?" And she asked me, she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure," right? Because I was so
Mm.
used to being like, "Yeah, I'm good,"
Yeah.
right?
Ooh, with the company line, by the way, I'm
For
good.
sure, I'm good. So she looked at me. She was like, "No, you're not."
Mm.
She's like, "No, you're not." And I remember breaking down crying in her office. I was sitting on the chair on the side of her, and she's like, "You're gonna take some time off,
Mm.
right? And we're gonna cover your load, right?" That was like one of the biggest things that hit me for
Yeah.
that right for that leadership. I'm like, oh wow, and I wasn't in trouble.
Yeah.
She was just genuinely concerned about me, right?
Yeah.
So then
Shout out to her, man.
yeah, shout out to her. Yeah, but I would kind of want to say her name, but I don't know if I can. But anyway, so she looked out for me, and then she directed me to go to therapy. She was like,
Mm.
through our company we get these sessions,
Mm.
right? And you should look into it. She's like, look into it. So I looked into it again and connecting with this older white lady.
Mm.
And so we began to have conversation, right?
Mm.
And going into it, I'm like, what this old white lady gonna know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm dealing with? How she gonna understand me? And so just having conversation with her, I'm like, oh, she's cool,
Yeah.
right? And she understands me.
Yeah.
She understands me, right? And she was asking me questions about like my parents coming
Mm.
up, right? Or people that I didn't like connect well with,
Yeah.
or what were the things that I didn't like about like a parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of like began to like divulge that, and she gave me this story. She was like, yeah,
Mm.
she was like, it's interesting enough. She was like, I remember when I was married to my first husband, and I'm like, okay. And she's like, I just hated this guy.
Mm.
And I'm like, what was it about him?
Mm-hmm.
So then she kind of like cut herself off, and then she started to like talk about her mom,
Mm-hmm.
talking about her mom. And I'm confused. I'm like, why are you talking to me about your mom? She's like, my mother was like this, and I hated when she did that, and I really hated when she did this and that. And I'm like, okay. And then she went to transition back talking about her husband. And she's like, and I just thought about my husband, and I'm like, I hate when he does this and that. She's like, you see what's going on here? And I'm like, it sounds like, she's like, oh, it sounds like I married my mom, doesn't it? And I'm like, wow, right? And interesting enough, she was like, sometimes the very thing that we dislike, we end up committing like some type of covenant with, or get committed to. And I'm like, dang, I didn't even really think about that. She's like, because when you describe, this person, it sounds like,
wow.
And I'm like, dang, you understand what I'm saying? And so then, so we initially started to talk about what happened to me, right? And then that slowly transitioned to my part I played, to accountability. Like, okay, like what could you have done better? What did you do to create this situation?
Yeah.
And that to me was like, oh, okay, because I always thought therapy was like, oh, you got to be crazy to get in therapy. Right? Like, you got to have something wrong with you.
Right.
Like, you got to be psycho to go to therapy. Like, and if you go to therapy, people going to think something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Right? And that experience changed my whole perspective on therapy. I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty dope. And I look forward to talking to her. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, when is the next time you're available? She's like, oh, you can meet me next week at this
Yeah.
time, right? So we had a consistent schedule that we meet
Mm.
weekly, and then from there, I ended up getting with another therapist at the time after I ended up getting divorced about a year and a month, which was in hindsight now, I mean, I don't know if it was too soon, but I ended up getting connected with a couples therapist. And that couples therapist opened my eyes to some things relationally
Yeah.
for me, right? Then after that, I'm like, okay, I learned that I need to get a black male therapist, someone that can kind of hold me, because this was a younger white woman.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I need to get a black male therapist. And that black male therapist opened my eyes up, and he held me accountable. I'm like, this dude is like amazing. You know, I ended up calling him Unc. As a matter of fact, he was actually on he was on a podcast that we
I
did.
remember. Phenomenal, by the way. Y'all make sure to check that out, by the way.
Yeah. Dr. Williams is a great guy. And so, and then now I have another black male therapist, right? And one of the biggest things I say, like with therapy, man, is you're going to be ever evolving.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not going to be the same person. So I think it's pretty dope in my experience that I'm like meeting these different people.
From different perspectives.
Perspectives, right? And they can supply a certain need for me where I am currently.
I like that. Come on now.
Yeah.
I wish I'm a buzzer, man. Cause you dropping gems today, brother. Because that's real. That's the same thing for me. I had, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to therapists as a whole, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I said, as you evolve, different level, you and it's nothing wrong with seeking another therapist.
For sure.
So
therapy is like dating.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah, because you get some people, like I've had conversations with people that are like, man, I tried therapy, but it don't work. And I'm like, you try it again? They're like, no, like it ain't for me. I'm like, why? Like, 'cause my therapist didn't understand. Like, you know, it's funny because I ended up seeing this one therapist, right? And this guy, I'm like, this dude, this is in between like my new therapist and my previous therapist, right? And I met with him. I'm like, this dude ain't legit to me, right? And he's not like relatable. And I just chose to get another therapist. Now I'm with the therapist I'm with now, right? So I would say like in therapy, just keep, I don't want to say shop around, but keep like, you feel me? Like have conversations with people and see where it goes.
And don't be afraid to, if you got to change therapists, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's okay, right? Yeah, it's okay. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Shout out to you, man. Okay, so I got another question for you, man. A lot of men think silence equals strength. When did you realize silence was actually hurting you?
You know, great question, man. So I realized silence was hurting me because back to like my dad, I saw my dad and had a better understanding of my dad going through stuff as I got older. And my dad was kind of quiet, right? But I saw how it affected him being quiet, right? Because if you are trying to handle stuff internally, right?
Yeah.
Like that could be heavy, whatever that might be that you're experiencing. And I started to realize as I talked more about the stuff, like I became more free, right? And then in times that I'm silent, I'm like, it's heavy, right? It's heavy. And then I'm walking around, everyone can see it. I'm thinking I'm okay, right? And everybody like, nah, bro, you got something going on. What's going on, right? And everybody wouldn't ask that, right? A lot of men wouldn't ask what's going on. You know, our way of, especially in our community, like, are you good? And we could just be like, yeah, I'm good.
You're right.
But really, you're not good.
You're really not good.
You know, it's not good. So for me, I'm like, man, being silent, bro, like this is killing me in the inside. This is really killing me in the inside. And I had some friends like, oh man, you don't need to talk about that. I'm like, no, I learned. I'm not you, you're not me. And this is freeing for me. It's freeing for me. And I started to realize that, I don't want to get super spiritual about it, but like God didn't let me keep it in the inside. I had so many experiences to where I'll just be in a casual conversation with somebody. And they telling me something they experienced. And I began to like talk about my experience. And they like, oh man, I thought I was the only one. And I think that can be a big component of why people, or men, black men too, keep quiet about stuff, is because you think that you're the only one.
Absolutely.
Right. And you're never the only one.
Never.
Right. It's nothing new under the sun. Like what you're experiencing, someone probably wrote a book, had a conversation, wrote a vlog, something that
it can help you.
It help you. And you're not the only one, but you gotta open your mouth. You gotta talk about it. Because if you don't, man, like that stuff can ruin your entire life. I've seen and heard about guys that have snapped.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Either snapped on somebody from something they were experiencing,
Yeah.
killed themselves, right? Suicide is at a high rate, right? And it's because
Yeah.
people are silent. And I'm gonna be transparent, bro. I had some thoughts. I would have thought I would have never,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Mm.
Crossed my mind, and I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And once I started to kind of like talk to my therapist about it, talk to people that I know I can trust with it,
Mm-hmm.
right? It became less heavy for me.
Yeah.
And I realized in silence, I was like dying in the inside, bro.
My therapist, she said something real. She said the reason why black men are so hypertension, heart disease, because she was saying internally when you hold it in, you are holding that
Oh,
into
for sure.
your organs, your body, your mind
sure.
is holding on this thing,
Yeah.
and as opposed to, and that's what turns out to be those things.
Yep.
And when she told me that, bro, I think the first 2 sessions I had with my therapist, I didn't say nothing. I was silent, like, how your day going? And that was about, I paid for an hour session of silence, right?
Right.
But she's like, we can sit here we sit here in silence all you want to, but know that it's going to kill. It's killing
dogging
you
you on the inside,
bro. Listen, change my whole perspective. Now I'm letting it out.
I'm proud of you, bro. Yeah, man. That's because like, and I think again we learn that as men, like man, like suck it up, like
Yeah.
you ain't got to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm an athlete, you know, and it's like certain things you just navigate through. It just is what it is. And again, too, my dad was a Marine, so it's like, and I've been around a lot of Marines in my life, right? My cousins, my aunt was in the Marine Corps, right? I was at a church one time. The pastor was a Marine. You know what I mean? So I'm around all these people that have this mindset
Right.
of like, suck it up, right? But it's affecting you. It's affecting you, and you need to let it out. If not, you're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good stuff, man. So in your book, you said therapy helped uncover patterns affecting not just your marriage, but your whole life. What was one of the patterns that surprised you the most?
So you asking me like, what was one of the patterns for me? I would say, like in marriage.
Well, just overall, because I know for me, when I went to therapy, I found out that the reason why I held everything inside, because my mom, she always tell, I'm the oldest, right? I'm the only boy. So my mom's like, you a man don't cry. I think, and before that moment, I only cried like 5 times in my entire life.
Wow.
Right? And that same day, I cried or whatnot. But she was telling me the reason that stemmed from that, because someone told you a long time ago, as a man, you're not supposed to cry when you can. And that pattern to me kind of broke, kind of like the whole thing just shattered for me. And I'm like, well, cry now. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's why I bring it up. So for me, my pattern was men can cry. But for you, what was the pattern for you that you was like, oh, okay, that was surprising?
Yeah, I would say a pattern for me, and I don't necessarily know if I developed this as a child, but a pattern for me that wasn't so good is that my viewpoint of partnership.
Wow.
Right. So for me, my viewpoint of partnership was like you there, and I could like need you, but I wasn't always like receptive.
Wow.
Right. I wasn't always like wanting to hear it. Like when I say hear it, like let's just say I got my lady and she wants to, let's call it my wife, right? And let's just say she may have had a suggestion or something like that. And if I didn't see it, I wasn't really like yielding to that. You understand that? And so for me, I started to see like you could be a leader and yield to things.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's not gonna make me less of a man to actually be in a partnership. You know?
Yeah.
And I think that for me it was almost like how can I say this? It's like I'll say this. So I've learned through error that women are like, it sounds crazy, but don't try to like pick it apart the right way. But like women are an extreme gift to us. You understand?
They are.
They're an extreme gift to us.
Shout out to women.
Right, shout out to women, right? And so, and not to be just looked at as like a physical specimen, but like women can take what you have and multiply it.
Absolutely.
You understand that? And I think that I've went through prideful situations to know that your pride won't get you anywhere.
That's a bar.
Right. Your pride ain't gonna get you nowhere.
Right.
Because a woman, you as a man, we're visionaries,
Mm-hmm.
but a woman can kind of see things in a different way,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh, okay, right? So learning to yield to things opposed to being like, no, we ain't gonna do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that? Another thing, being a little bit more understanding to emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna be a little bit more understanding to this woman's emotion. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, they're real for their women are emotional beings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I had to learn, like, yo, my woman ain't my dog.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, not like pet, but like my homeboy. Like,
Right,
oh, you're
right,
my
right.
homeboy. Like, she's gonna have emotions,
Mm-hmm.
and because she has emotions, learning to actually navigate those emotions
That's good.
to get the best out of her, and you get the best out of her, you get the best out of y'all.
Right. It was making everything better.
Everything is better, right? So, but I had to learn that.
Yeah.
I had to learn that, and I think that I didn't know that. I didn't know that going in.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I didn't know that. It's not a thing.
Right,
I know
right,
I didn't know that going in
Mm-hmm.
because it's not really what I saw,
Right.
right? And it took for me to fail enough to learn, like, oh, okay, like you, not to be a Bible thumper, but the Bible talks about husband and wife submitting to one another,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's like we submit into one another because I have a vision and you have input, right?
Right.
And we're partnership. And okay, cool. And I would be what's the word, remiss to just say, oh, we're gonna do everything my way.
Right.
Right. And I think I had to learn that, like, oh, it ain't gonna just be, oh, okay, everything my way, right? Like I also would say this is a good one for me. So the other thing that I was thinking that was a bad like pattern or cycle for me is that only providing financially, right? And I didn't realize that, okay, and this is all about like part of the growth, right? That your spouse or significant other is going to need more than you just providing financially. And a lot of times that's what we see, right? Coming up, right? Is that, okay, dad is making the money, giving the money, and then you should be good.
Should be good.
Right? Like, and then not knowing that it goes more into just making money, right? That your significant other has emotional needs, right? And they want to be loved and cared for, right? And I remember when I was going through the divorce, I'm like, man, hold on, like, we good.
Yeah.
Like, you're a stay-at-home mom. Like,
you can understand what's going on.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? Like, you taken care of, right?
Right.
Like, we're good. But it's more than that. It's more than just, okay, because I had the mindset of, okay, cool, you're going to be stay-at-home mom, you take care of this domain, and then I'm going to go make the bread, I'm going to bring it home, and you take care of all of this, and then I will come home sometime and just go to sleep, have a small conversation, whatever that might look like, right? But then I learned, like, oh, no, you got to put in a little bit more because I would go out and I'm giving the world all of me, all the best parts of me, and I come home and I'm like, you get this much of me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And be okay with that.
And be okay with that. Like, because I'm going out here making this money. I'm going out here and making sure we good. We can stay in this house and all that. But I learned, like, oh, no, it's more than that.
Right.
It's more than that.
No, shout out to you, brother. Because I feel like millennials, you know what I'm saying? We as millennials, you know what I'm saying? We are embracing a new phase of life that embraces these things, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, our fathers, they was like, I make the money, that's good. You should be all right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we see that growing up, we like, but we find out that's not enough, man. You know
It's not enough, yeah.
Yeah, no, so shout out to that, man.
No, it's not enough.
So I had a question for you, man. You wrote, if you don't heal, you risk passing down things that were never meant to be inherited. What does generational healing look like to you?
Yeah, I think generational healing looks like self-awareness, right? So I'll never forget this, man. I was a kid and I had a track meet, right? And I ended up being good in track, right? But I was like in middle school, I never could really be eligible. And I never forget one of the things my dad said to me. This was like the first time he came to support me at a track meet. And he's like, he looked at me, he's like, don't embarrass my last name.
Whoa.
Right? Now watch this, like, right?
Yeah.
So as a kid, I'm like, damn, like, what? Like, you ain't about to come over here and be like,
not supporting you, just
like, hey, yeah, like, man, go out there, son, go do your thing, man. Like, hey, I'm here with you. You know what I'm saying? We got this, baby. Like, I'm here. Like, Pops got you. And so that stuck with me for a long time. And then when I got to high school, that changed, right? I ended up like doing well in track. But for me, I remember the feeling of all of that. So my son runs track,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
And my son is developing.
Mm-hmm.
And he was about to run a 400. I knew, right, that, okay, he probably could have done a little bit more training. And he's probably not about to come out here and smash on. This is his first year running track.
Right.
Right? He ain't about to come out here and smash it, right? But I know that if he knows that I got his back, he going to do the best he know he can do, right? And so I walk up to him, I say, that is me. And it was kind of like the same moment that my dad had with me.
Wow.
Right. And don't take this as like, oh, I'm holding up for my dad, but it's just like thinking about that to your question. I'm like, I walk up to him, I'm like, hey, how you feeling? He like, I'm good. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, man, like, go out there and do your thing, bro. He like, all right. I say, you know how to run a foe, right? And this is interesting too. Then I add this other part. I'm like, you know how to run a 4? And he like, yeah. I'm like, you sure? He like, I think so. I'm like, that's cool. You can tell me you think so. I said, that's what I want you to do. I said, when you hit the first curve, get out. Like, get out.
Yeah.
Right? When you get on that back stretch, keep them legs pumping, but, and kind of take the stress out of your arms and hands. I'm like, lock your fingers like this. Keep them arms tight. When you get about 175, all out, pump them arms, and them legs going to follow. Right? And he like, all right, I'm going to do that. So he did it, and he came in like third. Right, but I'm like, good job. I saw him like, good stuff.
That's good.
To me, I can tell that he probably felt like, man, I should have got first. I'm like, no, man, good stuff, bro. Like, how you feeling? You good? He like, yeah. On the way home, he like, Dad, like when you was telling me on the back stretch, like, do that really, really worked. I'm like, good stuff.
That's good, man.
So the other piece I was gonna say is that my dad didn't run track, so he didn't really. He probably wanted to give me more, but he ain't really had nothing to give me. He ain't really had nothing to give me, right? So, and I think when I was saying, like, as far as like self-awareness, I saw this post recently. It was like, a lot of y'all football players that was trash. I mean, it said something like, y'all got these trash football players training y'all sons, right? And it was like dudes that don't really know what they doing, but they and shout out to them. I ain't trying to. Throw no shade. But my thought is, I've seen a lot of dads that never play football. Right. Because my boys football. Yeah, telling their kids, man, go out there, be tough, man. Like, go out there, don't be soft. Don't go out there and embarrass me. Like, go hit that kid. Go do. But they never did it. They never put on some pads and collided with a another body. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or they never went out there and ran track, or some of them didn't really go well and do well in school. Right. You know what I'm saying? But like, you need to be doing better in these grades. But it's like having self-awareness, like, man, was I beast in four? Was I beast track? Okay, did I do really well academically? No, let me be transparent. Right, man, like, you know what I mean? Like, my son had struggled in one of his classes. Like, but I would say I was like the most scholastic person? No. But my willingness to be self-aware and honest, I'm like, hey, look, bro, like, you smarter than me, son. When I was your age, bro, like, I wasn't getting grades like this. I wanted this type of school. You know what I mean? Like, you doing well. You in the school for a reason. You earn your keep to be in this school, right? Like, don't go to this school and be mediocre. Like, can I be lying to you and telling you, like, oh, I got straight A's? No, I had some of the similar challenges. You understand? But I would say you better than me. Yeah. So go do your thing, bro. Like, stop playing around. Like, what are we playing for? But I'm able to be honest. You know what I mean?
You get a chance to right or wrong, for real. You know what I'm saying? You get a chance to go down a path differently that's going to help.
That's a good way to put it. Yep. So I'm like, as opposed to just perpetuating this cycle of, hey, man, do something I didn't do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, no. Like, hey, son, look, bro, you human, bro. You gonna mess up. You know what I mean? Like, have some grace about yourself. That's good, man. And you gonna be okay.
That's good stuff, bro. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What's harder for most men, in your opinion? Admitting pain or ask for help?
That's good. So what's hard for most men, admitting pain or asking for help? Man, I would say they both are equal. And I'm gonna say this. I say, when you, as a man, when you get pain, we taught certain ways to handle pain. Right? Whether we drink it away, smoke it away, sex it away. Right? That's how we handle the pain. I think I said it before, one of the first books I read when I went through divorce, it was Men Don't Heal, We Hoe. Right? And that book, the guy was talking about the importance of healing. Like, because we can hoe our we can hold ourselves away into healing, but it's like ultimately like, bro, like you really not.
You're not really helping
You ain't
yourself.
you ain't really healing, right?
Yeah.
But we taught, right, to be like, oh no, like I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it P. Like I'm gonna, you know, so I'm gonna keep it player always. But bro, you hurting, bro. Like don't act like you not. Don't act like you're okay. You understand what I'm saying? And the other part is that if you can't admit that you're in pain, it's almost like people that are in AA. One of the first things you want to admit is that you struggle with this particular, you know, substance abuse. And it's like, bro, admit that you hurt, because if you're not, you know, it's bigger than you being soft or you being like sweet, but it's more of you just gonna keep faking it, and then you'll make it, right? But then you're teaching somebody behind you to do the same thing, or you going out and just hurting other people too. You understand? So I think equally it's hard for us, and it's my opinion. I think it's hard for us both. I think they're equal. Like it's hard for me to say, "Hey, I'm hurt," because if you say you hurt, then that's looked at a sign of weakness. Right? Like, oh man, you soft, bro. Like, how you let that? Like, no, I'm hurt. And I think honestly, I say this too, in my own experience, when you can go to certain people, and you'll learn this. But then when you can go to people and tell how you truly feel, you're going to really learn who your friends are.
That's real.
Right? Because if I can go to you and be like, hey, man, I went through this, bro, and that junk almost took me out. Yeah. A friend going to be like, yeah, I'll get you, bro. Like, I understand. Like, that junk hurt. A friend ain't going to also let you stay there in that space. They're going to encourage you to get out of that space. But a friend ain't going to be like, man, you acting like a little bit. Like, no, bro, like, a friend going to be like, I'll get you, bro. Like, but eventually, you going to have, you know.
Shout out to you, brother.
All right, no.
You have plenty of conversations, and you never once be like, hey, man, get up, man. No, you like, hey, I'll be where you are, man. Yeah. And I appreciate you, man.
For sure. And that goes to the point of being open and transparent. Yeah.
And being, and like I said, being identified people who you can be, man.
Yep.
So shout out to you, man. Okay, man. This I made this question just for you.
Okay.
I want to know the answer, man.
What's that?
If your children read this chapter, this chapter right here, 20 years from now, what do you hope they understand about you, man?
I want them to understand. That's a good question. I want them to understand that I am not a perfect man, and that a part of being a man is being imperfect.
Come on, man.
But in part of being imperfect, you want to make sure that you are in a constant state of growth. And if you're in a constant state of growth, that means you're in a constant state of analyzing yourself and evaluating yourself and understanding that it's okay to be wrong, right? And I let my kids see me be wrong.
That's good.
Right? I let them see the highs of me. I let them see the lows of me. I let them see like what it's like to be a man, right? And like I tell every most fathers that come my way, is like fatherhood is really just about figuring it out. You know,
bar, bro.
Yeah, like nobody has it figured out. But shout out to the men that are trying to figure it out, right? So I hope that my kids can feel like, man, I can be imperfect because I saw my dad go through stuff. He was transparent. My dad also, like, I tell my kids are real. Like they've asked me like, hey, like, what happened?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for a while, I'm like, man, do I want to tell them?
Right.
Do I want to
tell them the whole story?
I want to tell them the whole story.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, no, like I gotta tell my kids the whole story, right? I use this analogy that, and this is what I tell my kids too. You know, growing up, you whatever worked out with your parents, right? Or didn't work out, you hear one side of the story, you hear another side, so I tell my kids, don't be no fool. Like, don't be no fool. Like, get two sides. So if it's me, or the other, like your mom, like get the full story, because I don't want you to. Because I went through that. I went through hearing, oh, well, your dad is this, or your mom is that. Like, no, give me the whole story. Because I use this analogy. If I get you a $1 bill, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna give you this $1. Go to the dollar store, you can buy like 3 bags of chips for $1, right? Take this $1, go buy 3 bags of chips. But on one circumstance, you cannot flip the $1 bill over. You trust me? Like, trust me. Don't flip it over. Just take the side that you see the president on, and get a guy that don't turn it over. And I'm like, are you going to trust me? I'm like, no. I'm like, why? Because I want to make sure that, like, the other side is real, too. That's how situations and stories are.
That's good.
Right? If I'm not going to take $1 to the store and trust that I can't flip this over and give it to a guy, same thing with stories. It's always two sides of a story.
Sounds every story.
You know what I'm saying? So don't be no fool. Get them.
That's good stuff, man.
Yep.
Okay, man. So on closes out, man. And this one, like I said, these questions, when I was writing them, man, I was like, I'm reading the chapter and I'm like, I feel like these questions correspond with the chapter, which is a phenomenal chapter, man. So I'm gonna ask you this, man. For the father listening right now, who's struggling silently, what would you want him to hear tonight?
The father that's struggling silently and is not saying anything. I'm gonna get this story. So I'm gonna keep using Bible stories, I guess, right? So there's this story in the
Great
Bible.
stories, man.
Right, they are. Right. So there's a story in the Bible, prophet Elijah. Right. So Elijah raised up Elisha. And so Elijah, it was a decree put out that Jezebel wanted to kill him. She put a decree, I want his head, right? So Elijah fled and he went to this cave. So he's in his cave and he's hearing these loud noises. He's like, oh, okay, that's probably God, right? And it wasn't God. God came to him in a still small voice, right? But the reason Elijah fled to that cave is because he thought that he was the only prophet in the land like him. He was the only one calling fire from on high. He was the only one, guys, doing signs and miracles. I'm the only one. But he didn't know it was thousands of prophets just like him. You understand that? So I encourage the men, don't think that you're the only one going through what you're going through, because there's thousands of men going through the exact same thing that you're going through. And if you have this mindset, I'm the only one, you're going to go somewhere and hide in a cave.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Right. And then you're in this cave and you got a whole life of purpose that's supposed to be lived. But because you like, ain't nobody going to understand me, or who going to have my back, or who can I go talk to? Right? Bro, you're not the only person going through that. You're not the only person going through that. You know what I mean? So the fathers that's going through whatever type of circumstance, bro, you can push through. You're not the only one.
Yeah.
And the world is waiting on you, bro, to get some healing, right? And get some therapy, right? And you're gonna be just fine.
Come on, bro. That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff, man. Hey, man.
Now you got any more questions?
No,
you don't.
No,
All right, cool. So if you got no more questions,
No, I got more
cool.
questions.
So for me, one of the things I do in the Just Rambling podcast, and thank you for being on the show, bro.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you.
Mama, I done made it. I done made it to Just Rambling podcast. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's an honor, brother.
I appreciate you. It's an honor here too. So one of my biggest things as I finish every podcast, I always tell everyone, hey, listen, I believe everyone has a voice and everyone should be heard. And then I encourage my guests to just ramble. It doesn't matter what it is, right? But in this scenario, I'm the guest, essentially. Well, you're the guest host, and I'm being interviewed, right? So I'm gonna take your time, and I'm gonna ramble.
Okay.
But in my rambling, for the sake and appreciation of men's mental health, I think more men need to be given their flowers while they're still here, right? So with that being said, bro, I'm gonna ramble about you, bro. So I'm gonna tell you, I appreciate every single thing about you, bro.
Wow.
You know, I know your story that the world doesn't know. We talked about this on the last podcast, is that you went from a tumultuous situation, right, as a dedicated father, and you're a dedicated husband, you know, and you work through your imperfections. And the cool thing is, I think you're in episode 300 and what?
22 now.
You're in 322 episodes from podcasts. You started in a place of like your lowest.
Yeah.
And I encourage you, like I did the last time we met, to tell your story more. Because when you tell your story more, your podcast is going to be that much more impactful.
Yeah.
Because people going to understand why you started it. You know, you're a great dad. You're an entrepreneur. You know, you're not afraid to say yes. You know, I remember when you first started your podcast, bro, you're like, I'm going to just do this at 2U Wines. Now you are like a lead at Futureland, right? You're the #1 podcast in the city, you know, and I would say arguably in the state, bro. So I always say, man, that I'm thankful that I can call you brother. I'm thankful I can call you friend. I think I know just as well as you know, if either one of us needed something, I know I can call you. You know, I called you for this. You like, yeah, bro, I'm on board. You know,
Yeah,
and you came here straight from work,
man.
right? So I'm gonna just tell you, brother to brother, black man to black man, I'm proud of you, bro.
Appreciate that,
I
man.
love you, bro. I'm gonna encourage you to keep being great because that's exactly what you are, bro. You greatness.
Come on, man. I appreciate that, man.
No doubt.
I really do. I genuinely do appreciate that, man.
No doubt.
And I want to give your flowers, brother. I was telling Ebony this while you walked the room, man. I was telling her, you know, honestly, man, the reason why I started my therapy journey, because little did you know that while you were going through yours, you told me about you were going through the therapy, and I was like, I'm gonna do it, man. You know what I'm saying? So you inspired me to go to therapy, man, which helped me out tremendously, man. So I want to tell you, you don't know the impact you have on others, man, and what you're doing. And this book is going to help out so many people, man. And I can't wait to hear the testimony of many men saying, man, that book changed my life, helped me get better with my family, helped me get better relations with what significant other and the people in their life, man. So, man, you've always been destined for great things, brother. And you are the most extroverted man I ever remember life, man. If there's ever a award for that, brother, that is you,
That's
man.
me. Okay, no doubt.
I love you for that, man, because no matter where we out, man, we having a good time. And I appreciate you just not as a friend, just as a person, man.
That's what's up, bro.
So thank you, man.
That's what's up, bro. Love you, bro.
Come on,
Hey, give me some love, man. Give me some love, man. Yeah, reach across that table.
Come on, man.